Um, Today's session is about using the AI tools. We had a discussion with my colleague Tekraj while we were having a meeting in the previous weeks that we can use AI for generating our um, academic writing or even code writing, but the important thing is how should you use it? How you are supposed to use it? What are the limitations and what are the things that you need to um, stay away from? Or is there any single way to use AI tools? That's another question. So I will start with an introduction. Let me just give me a second. I have a problem on my screen. Yeah, that's. And I will shortly talk about AI for academic writing, which we have to do. But for new students, for newcomers, for the new academy learners, it's very tricky to work in a proper way because we do have the ethical considerations and we do have some realities when using AI. And I will also talk about AI for code writing. The reality is there are tons of applications. There are tons of applications you can find which uses generative AI to help you uh, do something in business and as a student in your university studies. There are tons of applications for search, for writing research papers, for developing software, for note taking, even for email generation. There are tons of applications you can find to create um, images. People started discussing what should an artist do from now on if the AI is generating the image itself. So you can now simply ask an AI tool to generate a picture for yourself and a fake picture for yourself to show you as something. There are many video applications already started generating even movies. There are audio applications which is being used to convert a text to speech, a speech to text, or transcribe whatever you are talking live when I'm saying these. And there are many different applications on note taking. For example, there is an application called Otter AI, which was started to be used very heavily in online meetings. Whatever you talk in an online meeting, it gives you a summary of the meeting. And there are data applications, there are coding applications, which as a computer, I assume most of you are computer science students. There are coding applications which may help you to do the proper way of coding. There are bots, there are many different gaming or other type of applications. So, how do we use them? How are we supposed to use them? I am old enough to see the days where we didn't have internet. Even I was a teenager when the first mobile phone was invented. And I even remember the days there were very limited televisions. Back in the days, the access to knowledge was very limited. What we were doing was we were using books, we were searching for data for hours if we want to learn something new. But in today's world, AI applications and not only helps you to access the information, they also help you to make an analytical reasoning, for example, on the knowledge, on the data itself. And our focus, so if we start talking about all these applications, it will be days long discussions or calls, but let's have uh, um, our focus on academic writing and code writing. So in academic writing, uh, using AI tools are very tricky because you can use ChatGPT to ask for writing an academic paper. Not even ChatGPT, there are uh, different applications which uh, I learn every week, every month, a new tool to use for academic writing. There are tools which can write an academic paper, which can write an essay, which can write an homework by itself. If you are a student, if ChatGPT does all the thing for you, what is the reason of being a student then? What are you learning? What are you supposed to learn if you are using all the time AI? What can be the output? So you need to keep in mind it is unethical to use a large language model, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or DeepSeek, the new star, directly write your work. You cannot ethically get the sentence of your, get the question of your teacher and ask for a creative paper out of that question and directly copy and paste it and send it back to your professor. It's not ethical because it is not your work. It is no different than asking for someone else to do your homework and send it back to your professor. But since it's free, since you are doing it, you may have the um, incorrect understanding of you can use it. If it's not your work, it is called plagiarism. So you need to keep in mind if you are generating a text by using an large language model, it is basically detectable. There are tools like the plagiarism tools already started detecting LLM generated text. But I'm not talking technically about detecting. It is also detectable from the view of a teacher. If you don't know what you're writing, if you just took the exact response of the LLM for a paper, for an academic paper, for an homework, and if you don't know what you are writing, you may give extra information which was not needed. You may tell something wrong because LLMs can be incorrect as well. They can write probabilistically something wrong. So you are the person who is responsible for that academic paper. And uh, all of the LLMs around, they have their own um, patterns to write, to give you responses. That is how it works. For example, when you ask ChatGPT to write you an essay or to answer a question, like let's say, tell me whatever you know about LLMs, it will give you an organized introduction and conclusion type of essay with some items and with a lot of fancy words inside of that text, which is very easily understandable by a person who knows what a ChatGPT type of writing is. And keep in mind, LLMs uses the knowledge that was trained to build that LLM. So technically, the text you are getting from an LLM is a generic summary of a prior knowledge. If you are asking a generic question, it gives you generic knowledge. Some sentences which is not wrong, but also not specifically correct for a specific task. Which means you should know by yourself. You should know what you are doing. You should not let the large language model, you should not let the ChatGPT type of tools to give you what you should do, to tell you what you should do. You should know it. As a human being, you should be the controller over that tool because it is just a tool. You need to understand first to continue gathering new information. For example, you can start by asking a very general question. I don't know anything about computer networks. What do you know about computer networks? Okay. It will give you computer networks will have this, and that fields, and then you can go technically to these fields and so on. It will not be something more than 2 pages long text. The next thing is you should ask for something more detailed. But if you give more information that you want to learn much better, you should know specifically what you are asking for. So the better you know, the better you get out of that large language model. And that's critical. So if you want to get the most out of a large language model, you shouldn't ask with the questions that you learn from the large language model. You have to read whatever it refers to. You have to understand. You have to analyze, and you should have an understanding on what you are talking to. And that is the very short summary and understanding on academic writing. Please feel free to ask questions, and I have also some more words for code writing for the computer science students. Shall I continue, Tekraj?
Yeah, you can. That would be, I
Yes.
think, great and helpful because in research, it's not, they would also have to implement things. So,
Yeah, that's why. Like as computer scientists, most of our papers includes at least some type of high level or a very low level code, and we can also use code for code writing, and we can use ChatGPT like tools. Um, Probably in the next years, we will not be talking about ChatGPT because there are many different applications going around. But that was the first thing. This is why I'm using ChatGPT all the time. As a computer scientist, I shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, you can use AI for code writing. But I also have some rules of thumb that you need to keep in mind. I mean, as an experienced person, these are not something that I can say are laws or rules, but these are something that I can recommend you. For example, do not copy and paste a code into a running system if you don't understand the meaning. Let's say you started working in a company, or let's say you found an open source project and you need to develop something new with an idea, and you ask the large language model, the AI tool, uh, to write a specific code that you like. If you don't understand what it is, don't use it. If you're not in control, don't use it. Because, of course, there are some size limitations of the LLM tools because of the token size limitations. There is also always a chance that the LLM generated text may come up with something wrong. Um, I am sure you are following the discussions related with ChatGPT and DeepSeek. They are always comparing the accuracy of the results. There are benchmarks that are calculating the accuracy of those LLM tools, and they are not 100% correct all the time. So, whatever you ask for code writing, if you don't understand what it is, don't use it. The second thing is, um, what what you can simply do, you can ask for specific corrections or specific type of code writing for a shorter amount of code, and you shouldn't be forgetting the main idea while writing your code. You, as a human being, again, just like what I said in the text generation, you, as a human being, is the controller of what you are doing. Um, you should keep your main idea in your mind. You shouldn't let the AI tool to give you the main idea. Otherwise, you will lose control of your idea and what you are doing. So you should know what you are doing, and you should ask specifically to the AI tool what to develop. Otherwise, you will not be the one who is developing that code. And oops, this is wrong. I will delete this one. This is not do not, this is do. So I recommend you to use AI tools as an assistant robot. For example, let's say you wrote a code and it's not working. Just ask that. You wrote a code, you want that to be organized in a clean way. Just ask it. You wrote some code and you want to rewrite the names of the functions in camel case. Just ask it. It will do it perfectly because it will not change the way you write the code. It's still your code, and you only use AI tool to correct it and clean it. And those kind of tasks, AI tools are perfect for helping you to organize what you are doing. Use it as an assistant, and um, use it to help you organize yourself as a software developer, even for either for an academic work or in your business life in the future. So, to sum up, first of all, you need to know what you want. You should not start without any knowledge to ask something to the AI tool. Yes, you can learn from AI tools by reading, but if you don't know how to chat with ChatGPT, if you don't understand what you are talking to, ChatGPT cannot help you because it always responds you in the way that you are asking. You are the one who need to understand the architecture of the work you are developing. You need to be the one who develop the high level understanding on what you are doing. And of course, you can have recommendations, but it's always better to let AI to do the time-consuming work that may help you to do things very easily in a very clean way. That's all I can recommend for you today. And I believe TechRaj gave you some tasks on using these type of tools. And I will also stay here if you have any questions for a while. And if there is any discussion further, please, TechRaj, take the lead and let me know what I can assist
Yeah,
further.
sure. Thank you, Semi, for this very wonderful talk.